Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Mighty Matt Podcast. I'm Matt Sterling, your host. I got another great guest for you today. I'm so happy to have Charlie Carter as my guest. Charlie's an occupational therapist at the Little Company of Mary in San Pedro, California. He was on the front line with patients who needed critical care during the pandemic. My inspiration for writing my book, Mighty, Finding the Strength to Survive, came from my experience of spending 4 months on life support, the result of a deadly MRSA infection. I titled the chapter of my book, Dealing with Rehab, Surviving Shawshank, because it truly felt like climbing through shit to get off the respirator and get back home. Charlie was my OT when I was on life support by Morgan Freeman in rehab. He treated me with care, gave me my first shower, and even cut my hair. In short, he treated me like a human, with dignity. For this, he will always be among the mighty. So, Charlie, welcome to the podcast.
Wow, thank you. What an
Yeah.
intro.
I know it's kind of long, but you deserve it, buddy. It was a dark time. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be among the living. I just wanted to get to know you and your background a little bit better.
Mhm.
It's very funny because for so long, I didn't even know what your face looked like outside of a mask.
Right.
But anyway, I just was curious, where did you grow up and how were your parents and what brought you into health?
Oh, I'm a local guy. I'm from Long Beach, just on the other side of the bridge.
Nice.
From San Pedro. Part of my family grew up here. That's a small town. A lot of people don't know where it's at. I tell people it's at the other end of the 110 freeway, the
There
opposite
you go.
of Medina. But yeah, I grew up in a single parent
Sure.
home. My mom and my grandmother. So I got a lot of nurturing from that aspect. My mom was always really hands-on in everything I did growing
Yep.
up. She was a fantastic lady who made the impossible possible. She made all of my Halloween costumes. She funny, when I was much older, I think I
Yep.
was already out of the house and I came to her with an idea to make a costume, a condom costume to wear.
That's
And
great.
yeah, she was game, so she helped me make it.
There you go. Yeah, she's
So
up
we've
for it.
had
That's great.
she was awesome.
And was
And
she a caretaker? Where did you get that? Because you're great with people.
thank you. I don't know. It was primarily my mom and my grandmother. You know, my dad was in
Yep.
the picture, but I spent most of my time with my mom and my grandmother. I always had a thing for animals. I always
Okay.
cats, dogs.
Yeah.
Had a couple reptiles for a while.
Nice.
Like taking care of things.
Yep.
I I had another fantastic grandmother too, and we always bonded. I could learn a lot from the older generation.
Sure.
When they grew up in the time of the Depression, they had to do a lot with a little. So
Absolutely.
I think I took away from that a lot of responsibility and
Yep.
just taking care of yourself, and taking care of others with what you have. So that affects my treatment and attitude at work. I think shapes it a lot.
What did it feel like being on the front line when COVID really started to kick in? And, you had more people on respirators and just tell me about how your job changed.
Well, yeah, it changed a lot. I mean, we went from just wearing gowns, isolation gowns,
Yeah.
when we go see a patient, surgical masks to wearing full on N95s. And in some cases, because I have a beard, I had to shave that
Yeah.
and I had to wear, a more tight fitting N95 mask. Some of us would wear the full on hood masks.
Yeah.
Never got to that point, but still, I mean, just wearing that all the time was really a lot.
Yep.
And you're in tight quarters. There was a lot of self talk to make sure that I had the right frame of mind going into everything. Honestly, all that stuff that you have on the outside, all
Yep.
the protection gear, kind of goes away when you're in front of a patient and you're trying to help them move, get out of bed, just feel a little bit more normal. At the end of the day, I could go home and you
Yep.
could go home. That was home for, 4 months or,
Yep.
it was that reality. I always think about the patients that are there long term
Sure.
or even just for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I work on a several different units. So that you were at, the one considered short to long term. I came into SAC, the subacute care center, 14 years ago, and we've had patients that have been there longer.
Yep.
So that's their home. And then we have patients that, like you, they're just there to just get home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting because, and I don't know if this is unique, but it felt like being in that facility that there wasn't an end point. It always felt like, well, get comfortable. You're going to be here for a while. And I was
Yeah.
constantly frustrated because I just wanted to get off of the respirator and get back to life.
Right.
So, one of the things that I wanted to ask you too was how do you deal with patients that are down in the dumps? They're not seeing the light. You've got an unbelievably positive attitude. I connected to right away. What's your philosophy behind getting patients to keep a positive attitude?
Well, I try to make sure that they know that I'm here to help them become independent again.
Yep,
That's my goal. I think as a occupational therapist, our role is different than nursing. To go back to, like, getting into this career field,
yep,
I wanted to help people become independent because I know how important that is.
absolutely.
So, with each patient, even when I know they've got a longer road in front of them to get
Yep,
back, it is hard because every day, you're coming and you're trying to help them do something a little bit different or do something more than they did the day before,
yep,
and everybody's different. Sometimes there's setbacks, like being on a ventilator, and some days are good, some days are bad. Just like
yep.
when you just sometimes don't want to get out of bed. We're just working towards the goal of you getting home and becoming independent. That builds me up, but I hope that builds up the patient too.
Sure. Now, are there some tricks that you use in your experience to enhance somebody's therapy or being able to wrap their heads around, I can be independent again? You know what I mean?
I'm such a guy in the moment. So my philosophy is, what do you need? Let's try to make that happen. So, when somebody says, "Man, I'm having a hard time getting on and off the toilet," or,
Yep,
"Man, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how to my balance so I can stand up and
yep,
at the sink and brush my teeth," or whatever it may be. Everything in occupational therapy is tied back to function. So what is it that is either meaningful or the nuts and bolts of what you have to do every day?
yeah,
So we try, I try to always approach every session that way.
yep,
So that way I'm giving the person that I'm in front of the most attention and the best possible outcomes, because then we can work
yeah,
on different things. Because that opens up, sometimes people aren't aware they can't even stand up, sit up
yep.
really. And they want to do, they want to drive a car. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's
we're
step
not,
by
we're not
step,
there
baby
yet.
steps.
Yeah.
I'll give
Yeah.
you 2 examples of what you did for me that helped, which is, my MRSA was in my right shoulder.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
remember vividly you helping me learn how to put my shirt on. And for people out there that don't understand, when you're in these situations, the most basic thing is removed from your life. You
Mm,
can't put your shirt on. And, you helped me figure that out. And then, as we progressed along and I got better and better at things, there was a moment when you came in because, you're coming in every day and we're doing things. And we
mhm.
just went out and did a stupid balsa wood puzzle outside. So we were just
Yeah,
sitting outside doing a ridiculous thing that,
right?
it's supposed to help your motor skills or whatever. But it
Yeah,
was just a moment to like take a deep breath and be out of the room. And that meant a lot to me. So I
right
wanted
on.
to bring those two things up. So
Yeah,
your ability to make someone feel human in an
mm,
inhuman situation where things are beeping and you're getting injected or changed or whatever.
right.
It's tough to feel like a human. What would you say is the most challenging part about your job?
The most challenging part, it can range a lot from,
Yeah,
just feeling like you're giving the person the best that you can. Sometimes just connecting. Sometimes, I mean,
sure.
you were great.
on a good day.
Yeah, well, even when you weren't feeling it, like I knew that I have an instinctual gut feeling when somebody's
Yeah.
gonna make it, and
Oh, nice.
make it is a lot of different things. It doesn't
Sure, sure.
necessarily mean make it home, but it means at least making more independence for themselves. And for you, I knew you would get back home, but sometimes it's hard to connect to people on a one-to-one basis, and
Sure.
you feel like I'm not making any headway with you, and how can I help you? And sometimes it can be related to, poor cognition. It can be
Yeah.
related to just their own, stuff that they have set in front of them.
Yeah, sure.
They can't get through. And so that's the toughest part of the job, is just relating to one another sometimes, because
Yeah.
I find that's where I have my grasp on what I'm doing. And if I don't feel like I have a true grasp
Yeah, yeah,
when
no,
I'm dealing with somebody, then it's like, oh my God, what are we doing here?
that
So
makes sense. That
we
makes
work good.
sense.
We work good as a team where we're at, and
Yep.
we can bounce ideas off of each other, and also take a break from one patient, and maybe somebody else can have better luck with them, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
circle back around, and maybe I can help them build a puzzle on a coping hook sometime.
That's
I don't
right.
know.
That's right.
There's always opportunities. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. What is the most rewarding part of your job? Just what do you get most out of the job?
definitely helping a patient get home. You
Yeah.
know, um, that is a lot of what we do. And I say home, I shouldn't probably say home. I just mean more independence,
Yes.
because some of these patients can't go home. So
Yep.
how am I going to make their life living in an institution
Yep.
more enjoyable?
Sure.
We've got a couple patients, and they have pretty severe strokes. Their cognition is intact, but they
Yep.
can't move their body. So I've worked together with the speech therapist and physical therapy
Okay.
to help the patients get devices for communication, because they're not talking. They have an eye gaze system, which is pretty
Oh,
sophisticated. They've got a power wheelchair, so they
yeah.
can get around, they can go outside if they want. For the longest time, this one patient did not want to use this communication device to
Yep.
get on the internet, to do anything other than just to say really basic
Yeah.
phrases. And then now, 4 years later, he's jamming and listening to
Oh, that's
rap
great.
music in his room, and yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
And
yeah. I when it comes to talking, something pops out of my head, which is the old speech valves. I had a trach, and I had no idea when I woke up where I was, if I'd
uh,
ever speak again, because obviously there's a hole in your throat. And then I find out through marrying the speech people, there's this little valve you can stick on there and speak. And
yeah, it's
once
pretty
I
cool.
figured that out, you're not supposed to use it without the nurses there,
Yeah,
but I'd be screaming at people with that
yeah.
on there, like, "Where the hell are you?" And I'm sure they wanted to throw that thing, out and make me silent, but that was just nuts.
Can't shut me up,
Yeah, no, you're not. Once you give me a chance, I'm
right?
going for it.
No, it's good. I mean, that speaking valve is like, it is such a simple little device, but yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
don't
such a big
realize
thing.
that, and I had no clue that it's pressure that
Yeah,
enables you to speak, and
right,
it's the strangest thing to
right?
ever have a hole in your throat, because then you have the
Yeah,
sensation of how vocal cords work.
yeah, yeah,
So it was crazy. I wanted to circle back on the
right.
comment you made about getting outside. That to me was a lifesaver. The moment I got outside that door, and it's funny, right there's a handicap spot right in the entrance. And I was like, one day my fucking van is going to be in that spot and I'm going
Right,
to get out of here.
right on.
And I drive by there now, and it
Yeah,
still kind of moves me because
I
it's
bet.
like you can have a goal and kind of reach it. And thanks to you and the rest of those
Sure.
guys, I was able to do that.
Right on.
I want to have some fun with you.
Oh,
So,
boy.
and I know like your job has to be unbelievably stressful, just dealing with people and the stress of life and death situations. So, what do you do to unwind and relax?
I drink a lot. No, I don't. Actually, I don't drink anymore. Yeah, no, I love mountain biking.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so and I've hurt myself pretty good doing that too. So
Yeah.
I've been on both ends of being a therapist and then also getting help. But I like being outdoors.
Yeah.
I like hiking. I just started going at it for just over a year now, judo.
Oh, nice.
Pretty crazy because I'm not young and,
Yeah.
you're, throwing and flipping
Yeah,
around.
that seems like,
So it's
it could
pretty,
get,
pretty tough.
perilous.
And I also like to travel.
Oh, yeah. What is the best trip that you've ever taken?
Back in 2021, through the pandemic time, I was really thinking, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying he was doing window cleaning up in
Yeah,
the Big Bear area. And I've got some extra time,
sure.
so why not put it to work? So I invested in some tools, but I decided I needed a work truck, and I always wanted a Dodge diesel. My dad had diesel trucks
There
when,
you go. Yep.
so,
I did too.
nostalgic,
Yeah, yeah.
So I found one, but in upstate New York. So what I did was I took my son with me. We flew
Nice.
the time he was 8, and we flew to New York.
Yep.
The guy picked us up from the airport, and we ended up driving it back.
Ah, cool.
It was the coolest experience. We drove through lots of different states. We
Yep.
ended up in Indiana and saw this roadside sign that said
Yeah.
Wright Brothers, Birth of the Wright Brothers.
Nice.
We took a detour. We went through a cornfield to find the house of one of the Wright brothers grew up there, but they had
Okay.
a museum in the back of the house with a
Nice.
full size plane, their first plane.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Totally unexpected, but
Yeah.
those are the those are the moments I want to experience, and I'm glad I was able to do it with my son. He was old enough to
Yeah. I
understand.
I have to share this with you.
Yeah,
I recently, took Frank, my son, he's
yeah,
11 years old, to his first Dodger game.
nice.
And, we got geared up. I had got the handicap seats. And as I'm sitting there, I flash back to being in rehab and like wondering if I'm going to live or die. And
Uh,
it was a very moving moment because I wouldn't have been able to share that moment with my son if it
right.
wasn't for, what you did and what everybody did to get me back out. It was just one of those father son moments that you can't put a value on.
Right, right. You
Um,
stimulate moments.
yeah, it was just
They
cool.
appreciate life.
Yeah, for sure. So, I usually close these with a
Mhm.
weird question that I think you're gonna appreciate.
Yeah, okay.
If I were to
Uh,
clone you and there
uh,
were 2 Charlie Carters
uh,
sitting in front of me,
uh.
what question would I ask to determine which was the real Charlie Carter?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how detailed I wanna get on.
Yeah, you can keep it, PG if you want.
So I would ask, did I hit that first home run, when I was in Little League?
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where was that? Was that in San Pedro?
No, I actually my mom had a hair salon in Seal Beach.
Oh, sweet.
So I grew up going to school in Seal Beach, which was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a small little town, but I played little league. But that first home run, so the story is I swear that it went over the fence,
Yep.
but then somebody said that it bounced over the fence.
Nice.
So I got called back for a
What?
double. Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I know. I was like, and it was the first home. This was such a rinky dink little league that we didn't have a permanent baseball diamond
Yeah.
fence.
Yep.
So they put out this like construction fence. And the deal was if you hit a home run, depending on where you hit the home run,
Yep.
you got your name on the fence.
No,
Yeah, there.
okay.
So I was pretty pissed that I didn't get my name on the fence because it was a ground rule double. But I swear to this day that I thought it went over the whole time.
Listen, Charlie, you have been hitting home runs ever since. And
Thank you.
I will go out there and I will write your name on that goddamn fence because you are the man.
Sweet.
I want to thank you so much for taking the
Of course.
time. Thank you for everything you've done for me personally
Oh,
and for every patient that you've touched, because you've spent your life doing a great thing and you continue to do it every day. And we really appreciate it.
thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Charlie. I really appreciate it.
You got it.
I hope you enjoyed that episode, and I hope you'll click like and subscribe so you can meet the mighty.